Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, president and founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up. So without any further ado, let's get started. It's Thursday. We're getting closer and closer to the weekend. The weekend is just coming down on us like nobody's business. I hope that you've had an amazing week. I know I have. Time for me to give you the last two tips, the last two techniques every ScrumMaster coach should try to perfect, right? So far, we said introduce your battle wounds. We said understand individual and team needs. We talked about asking more powerful and better questions and preparing what is needed. Today, I want to talk to you about the last two things that I think really make the difference. When I'm looking for a good coach, when I'm looking for someone who, I would send on an AgileDad engagement, one of the first things that I think of is how well this person communicates or how much difficulty they have communicating. Are they able to both be articulate, but also be quiet? And I know that sounds kind of strange, but oftentimes what I find is there's a difference between people who over-communicate and people who oversell, right? And I think sometimes people oversell their qualifications as a coach, or they oversell what they're trying to do. And sometimes that's not necessary. You don't need to oversell yourself. If you got the qualifications, if you got the chops, you've got the chops. There's no need to go any deeper and try to outwit yourself, right? Kind of sounds like something Loki would do. Now, you don't want to outwit yourself. So you want to make sure that you are communicating at the right level. And oftentimes, communicating at the right level means knowing when not to say anything at all. So I'm going to say it again. Sometimes communicating at the right level means knowing when not to say anything. And I think that is hard for some people, especially if you're an A-type personality, especially if you're a Scrum Master, especially if you want to be engaging and you want to be powerful and you want to be part of the cool kids club. Sometimes you feel like you need to overextend. Now, being an excellent communicator is imperative. You must be able to communicate with individuals, with leadership, with teams, across teams, with C-level leadership, with high-power business executives. I mean, I've seen lots of coaches who fall flat on their face when they become flustered around people who have higher education or people who have better positions. And that shouldn't be the case. If you're a coach, you should have those excellent communication skills inside out, through and through. So being a master communicator is so incredibly important. And I think the key here, once again, is to know when to hold them and know when to fold them and know when to walk away and know when to run, because you never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough to count it when the dealing's done. Oh, wait, that was a Kenny Rogers song. Hold on. Now, I think what I was trying to say is you just need to know when silence is golden and when silence is painful. But sometimes the painful silence is what's needed to get somebody else to speak up. And I know that's kind of pushing into a Friday topic, but I just wanted to say a good Scrum Master, a good coach, masters their communication skills. So you need to hone in on those and understand yourself. And I think part of it is understanding that you're not coming in with any cognitive bias, right? And that leads me to the last one on my list, number 6. Number 6 is about making it personal, taking ownership. And I think that too many people who are in a coaching position still look at this as a job. What I tell my coaches is coaching is not a job. Coaching is an experience in itself. It's something that you get so excited and energized to share your knowledge with teams, and you want to see them be successful so bad that they almost become like part of your family. They're almost like one of your kids. Hey, AgileDad, maybe? No. But you want to make sure that you're treating them with dignity and respect. But it's okay to make it personal. It's okay for you to really stand up for, embody, and talk to team members the same way you would a very close family member. It's totally cool to do that. I know for certain that Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job in St. Louis as a news reporter because she was getting too involved and too close and too personal with the story she was covering. Now, I would argue that was probably a very good idea, right? In fact, that's the kind of person that I want to be an Agile coach. So I'm looking for somebody who's engaging. I'm looking for somebody who keeps things real. I'm looking for somebody who takes things to a personal level. I'm looking for someone who understands who they are and isn't afraid to explore and understand who you are. I want someone who will build relationships with leadership. I want someone who understands and can push things forward. I'm really looking for someone who can tell me a story. And I know that sounds crazy, but I want someone who has the whole package. And the education, and this sounds so weird when I say it, but the education about Agile can almost come after. I mean, do I want someone who's got the experience? Absolutely. But sometimes I think when you're a good, strong coach, your ability to be personable, your ability to be charismatic, your ability to follow through on commitments, those things often outweigh your knowledge of Agile or knowledge of Scrum. So I think that it's important to have both, but I think it's important to make sure that you take that under consideration, because without having that knowledge, it's just going to push you in a way that you don't necessarily want to go, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this short session with the top 6 tips. We broke it into 3 parts because we wanted to make sure we gave each one a credit it deserves. So I hope that you are planning an amazing weekend. I hope that you're having an amazing week. I hope that you'll continue to tune in and listen to additional episodes of the Daily Stand-Up Podcast where we talk about the things that mean the most to you. If you have a topic you want us to cover in an episode, feel free to shoot us an email. Learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear what you want to talk about. So tomorrow's Friday. Get ready for it. Until then, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.